Hey everyone, it's Marissa, your Usborne book lady, and I'm going to take a minute just to go over some of Usborne's offerings for those of you that might not be as familiar with Usborne, or for those of you that would like a refresher on some of our best titles. If at any point you have any questions or you would like suggestions specifically for the kids, the ages and the interests of the kids in your life, please don't hesitate to contact me, either back at the Facebook party page or directly through Facebook at my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/booksbymarissa. Or directly through my website. If you visit www.booksbymarissa.com, there's a contact me button. All right. So I'm going to start. I'm going to go sort of in loose age order from babies up through big kids. And when you're browsing, if you would like to browse by age levels, there's on the left-hand side of the page, there's a little age levels button that you can browse by age levels. So for babies, I really like our nursery rhymes book. It's just a really simple nursery rhymes book, but it has these nice thick board book pages that are really hard for baby to rip or tear out or whatever. And it's really nice to have nursery rhymes on hand because we don't always remember the nursery rhymes, and nursery rhymes are really great for developing your baby's phonological awareness, which is their ability to play with the smaller sounds and words. And that will help them later when they start to decode words when they're reading. This is, we have a ton of really cute baby touchy-feely books, and as you can see, they're nice, bold, bright illustrations with very blank backgrounds, so it's great for a baby to focus on. The That's Not My series is probably the most popular of our baby series. We have, I don't know, like probably over 30 of these. That's not my owl, that's not my kitten, that's not my puppy, that's not my train, that's not my plane, like anything you can think of. And they're great because not only do they have the touchy-feely aspect and the nice bold illustrations with the fairly sparse backgrounds, but they also have this little mouse hiding on every page, and he is great for a very, very, very first seek and find, which will help your baby's developing letter knowledge, believe it or not, because the very first step in letter knowledge is actually shape identification. And finding this mouse, doing any seek and find really, will help your child start thinking about shape discrimination, which will help them when they start learning their letters. I like to talk about these next two together because they're two of our most popular combined volumes, and what that means is that there's several books in one binding. So this is Ted and Friends, and this is a combined volume of several of our phonics readers. So they're designed for kids that are learning to read on their own, but they also have this really fun rhyming text that's just great as a read aloud. So these have these cute little flaps too that make it a little bit more engaging and help tell the story. So this is 12 of our phonics readers in one binding with a CD that reads the stories, and it's only $19.99. So it's a really great buy because you can buy these individually and they're $6.99 a piece. So getting 12 with a CD for $19.99 is saving quite a bit of money. The Complete Book of Farmyard Tales is another combined volume. This one has 20 stories in one binding with a CD that reads the stories, and it's only $24.99. This one has another little component that makes it extra special though. This is a dual reader, and what that means is that you can read just the top line and the story will still make sense. So when your child is younger and they don't have a real long attention span, or if it's 20 minutes past bedtime and you just need to read a story and be done, you read just the top line and you're done. When they're a little bit older and they want more details, you read the top line and the bottom lines and they get the details that they want. When they're even older and they start reading on their own, they can read the top line, read the whole story independently if they want. It's about a first, second grade reading level. Or they read the top line and you read the bottom lines, and it's a more engaging reader than See-Spot Run. Now, the other thing that's really great about Usborne books is that when you purchase your Usborne books through a consultant, they have a lifetime 50% replacement guarantee. So this book will last you from the time that your child is 18 months through the time that they're like 6, 7 years old, right? So when they're a little bit older and you pull it out and you want them to be reading it on their own and it's falling apart because you've been reading it for 4 or 5 years already, all you have to do is give me a call or send me an email and we can replace the book for you at half price. So that's a pretty sweet deal. We have a ton of picture books, and these are just some of my favorites. We have a series about a penguin called Pipkin. Pipkin is a very small penguin with very big questions, and each of the books will address one of Pipkin's questions, and they're really cute. And they come with a poster that will further explain what's learned in the book, and they're usually really long or really big or something like that. It's really cute. Dan the Taxi Man is a really great read aloud. It's got this great repetitive text with a great rhythm. Here's Dan, beep, beep, the taxi man, going to the show and picking up the band. Climb inside while you still can with Dan, beep, beep, the taxi man. The whole book follows that rhythm. It's a perfect read aloud. Bob is a Unicorn is by Michelle Nelson Schmidt. She is probably one of my favorite. She might be my favorite author that we have. I adore her. And she has a bunch of books, but I'm just showing you this one. Bob is not a unicorn. Everyone can see that, everyone except Bob. It's all about following your dreams and listening to your heart song, or your heart. It's adorable. It's so sweet. And then You Choose. There's another one that's very similar called Just Imagine. There we go. And this book is not meant to be read straight through. It's a conversation starter. So, who would you like for your family and friends? And then it has all these different pictures of all these different people. So you talk to your child about who they would like for their family and friends and why. Where would you like to, if you could go anywhere, where would you go? And all these different places. So it's really great for developing your child's narrative skills, their ability to tell stories, and it's also really great for writing prompts for older kids as well. Wrong Way is another one of my favorites. This is Wrong Way. He's a little duckling who doesn't ever listen to his mom, and his other two siblings always do, and she calls him Wrong Way, and we learn throughout the book that sometimes doing things the wrong way is the right way. It's so cute. We have several Wipe Clean books. These are great for kids that are working on their penmanship or working on learning to write. This is our alphabet book. But there are a ton of them. We have so many activity books and sticker books. Just for example, the Big Maze book, Astronomy and Space sticker books, Build a Car sticker books, so many. There's a Look Inside series. This is a Lift the Flap series that's designed for preschool age, and they're really fun and engaging, but they're also nonfiction and super informative. Really cool. The See Inside series is designed for school-age kids, but it's the same concept. Lift the Flap book, nonfiction, super informative. We have a ton of them. See inside how things work, see inside your body, see inside the universe, a ton. The Big Book of series, we have a ton of these as well. As you can see, the book itself is pretty darn big, but several spreads throughout the book actually will fold out into a 4-page spread, so it's even more impressive. Seeing the solar system spread out over 4 pages of a huge hunkin' book is pretty cool. So there's See Inside, Stars and Planets, the Big Books of Stars and Planets, Big Book of Trains, Big Book of Big Machines, Big Book of Dinosaurs, tons of things. The illustrated series, we have illustrated stories from Aesop, illustrated Grimm's Fairy Tales, illustrated a ton of things. So they are great for kids that are reading independently, but they also make really great read-aloud bedtime stories for younger kids or for older kids that still like to be read aloud to, because it's still really great to read to kids that are reading independently. We have so many chapter books. We have chapter books for kids that are just starting to read on their own, chapter books for kids that are reading independently, chapter books for big kids, so many chapter books. And then finally, Usborne is really, really, really well known for our nonfiction titles, and I have 2 of them to share with you. We have so many nonfiction titles for all different ages, but I wanted to share our Illustrated Science Dictionary and our Illustrated World History Encyclopedia. These are really popular. I have so many hostesses that host just to get these collections for free. And these are also internet referenced, and what that means is that there is a website that you can go to that will direct you to a ton of other web resources that will give you more information about the things that you learn in this book. And the reason that it's a website that you go to that directs you to other websites is because if we printed websites directly into this book, in 5 years they would probably not be websites anymore. They would probably be dead links. When we have a website that maintains all of those other links for you, we can maintain the website. We can make sure that all the links are still working. We can make sure that it's a reputable source and that it's something that if your child uses it as a resource on their research paper, their teacher is going to be happy with them, and it's not Wikipedia or something where anyone can go and put the information in. All right, so that's just a general idea of some of our 2,000 titles. Like I said, if you would like specific recommendations for the ages and interests of the kids in your life, I would love to help you. Please don't hesitate to let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.